Yeah, that's what I was
Last
like.
year,
Why?
We're good?
I thought we just had green in the summer.
Alrighty then. I'm calling to order the regular meeting of the East Dundee Board of Trustees, Monday, December 4th at 6:01. Catherine, will you take the roll?
Catherine has a very different voice tonight.
Will you take the roll?
No worries.
Sorry, habits die hard.
President Lineham is absent. Trustee Mahoney.
Here.
Trustee Kunze.
Present.
Trustee Britton.
Here.
Trustee Saviano.
Here.
Trustee Triber is absent, and Trustee Sauter is absent.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. I'm asking you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Do we have anybody that wants to speak in public comment?
I do have one, Barb Stryker.
Hi,
And her.
my name's Barb.
Hi, Barb.
The manager at Royals Gaming Cafe, and I'm here because the restaurant next door is trying to get a entertainment license. And at the last hearing, I was told that the landlords, we were supposed to have a meeting between them, us, and the landlord, and I've heard nothing. So I'm here to find out what was going on with that, for the entertainment license. If we're continuing approval or not approval, because I'm here because we're a connected building and the music is way too loud. But I wanted to say that whatever they've been doing the past few Sundays hasn't been loud. So I just don't know where the next step is.
Sounds like progress.
Okay, well, it's on the agenda to talk about it.
Right.
So that's what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
So that's
All right,
what it
thank
is.
Erin.
Everyone, Eileen McNamee.
Eileen, sorry.
It's okay. I called you Catherine.
Twice.
We're doing okay.
Are we even?
I'm here to talk a little bit about the St. Patrick's Day Parade and all the fun festivities and everything else that, turns the East Dundee upside down and makes it great. So I've already put in the application. I know you probably don't need, much more from me. We are looking to do it on March 9th. So it'll be the week before St. Patrick's Day. As always, we try to give all of the businesses those 2 weekends to make all that extra money that, and all the fun festivities and so forth. We are still doing the 5K. Pretty much everything's going to be the same, including the fireworks. We're going to try and get the fireworks lined up for Memorial Day weekend again. I cannot give you what that date is, Friday or Saturday or Sunday, but right now it is that weekend. And we will be going through, all the proper channels. I know I have to get that all filled up with police and fire to everything we're doing. And I just talked to the new chief. And we're going to try and set up a meeting for January. So, so you guys get your green on and get ready. Do you guys need anything from me in advance? No. Nothing? All right. Okay.
Staff, like,
All right. It's lunch.
awesome.
Looking
Thanks.
forward
Thank you.
to it.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else from the public that'd like to speak on agenda or non-agenda items? Seeing none, I guess we will move into the public hearing. I'll take a motion to start the public hearing. I do that. We start with the motion and then we go to the script. Okay.
I will move to open the public hearing to consider the proposed budget and appropriations for the village's 2024 fiscal year for the period of January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024.
Okay.
Second.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Kunze.
Yes.
Britton.
Yes.
Saviano.
Yes.
All right then. Pursuant to Chapter 65 of the Illinois Compiled Statutes, I hereby call to order the public hearing of the fiscal year 2024 proposed village budget Pursuant to statute, notice of this public hearing was published November 3rd, 2023 in the Daily Herald. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Mahoney,
Yes.
Trustee
Yeah.
Coonsey,
Present.
Trustee Bruton,
Yes.
Trustee Saviano.
Yes.
So then I declare the public hearing of the full year 2024 budget open. I will now turn the public hearing over to Finance Director Mirandis Martin for opening comments on the proposed budget.
Good evening. We have had several budget discussions over the last few months. And as a general overview, we haven't changed much, if at all. We are going to make adjustments to the water and sewer fund to remove the one project as previously discussed, so that it's more of an in-house project for the well number 3 painting. So overall, the revenues for the general fund are still tracking at $75,000 surplus, and that's 1.3% more than budgeted. We have had home rule sales tax come in less than projected for the stub year 23, as well as our income tax. However, we did have greater than projected streaming tax revenue of more than $25,000, and also our interest rates from our banking institutions have been well over $300,000, exceeding what we had initially projected for revenues. Expenditures in the general fund are tracking to be under 5% of budget, and that's equivalent to $260,000 less than what we had originally budgeted. And those things are attributed to the village not having to pay Dundee for a $50,000 rebate for their sales tax since the business is closed. Also, some changes within personnel allowed us to do some saving or have some savings within the police and public works budgets, and also lower facility, vehicle, and other general maintenance within the departments and budgets. We are, as far as our capital funding, we do have our cash balance policy that allows us to make a transfer at the end of every year. And so for fiscal year end 23, we are estimating, we are still in the budget or audit process. So we are estimating transferring $1 million for the end of fiscal year 23 and another $1.5 million at the end of fiscal year or stub year 23. And that will allow us to fund a lot of the projects that we have outlined in this year's budget and hopefully in future years. Any questions so far? Okay. As far as the other funds, we do have, one more thing to the general fund. So we did talk about in prior budget discussions, increasing the vehicle parking tax, making it a flat percentage rate of all of our entities or impacted entities, their general revenues, and not just $6 per month is what we have now, or 50 cents per day for each vehicle. So we are anticipating a significant increase in our general fund revenues, which the board has identified as helping to offset the cost of transitioning our police department from a semi-part-time to a completely full-time department. We do also have $50,000 in our general fund for contingencies and also in our water sewer fund. We have about $1.9 million budgeted in our capital funds for projects for 23 or 24, and I do have a complete breakdown of what those projects are within the budget document that you have. As far as the police pension contribution, we are anticipating contributing $826,000 to the police pension fund for 24. We did just get the IPOPIF, which replaced the DOI's actuary. So we did just get that at the end of last week. And then it's only a couple $100 more than the Lauterbach minimum contribution amount. So I will be replacing this amount with the higher of the two, so it's about $300 or $400 more than what we initially budgeted. As far as water sewer fund, we do have a great deal of projects in that budget as well. One of them is a complete water sewer rate study, and we're also hoping that the company we select will also be able to do a facilities plan for our water and wastewater plants so that we can have a better idea of long-term use of our infrastructure and what that looks like when it comes time to replace all of those different pieces. And finally, we previously discussed allowing the sunset to end on our refuse ordinance, and that will kind of keep moving on track with how we are now with our funding of our of our refuse service for our residents, where they pay the cost of the service. And that's, again, similar to what other communities do, and it would allow us to continue to use those dollars for other needs of the village. Any questions? Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did you have a question?
No, I mean, we've gone over this 2 times.
All right, we're going to be voting on it next week. Okay, are there, so no other questions from anybody else on the board? No. Anybody from the audience, questions or comments on the audience, from the audience on the budget outline that was just given? No. Okay, seeing none, I'll now entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
I will move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Trustee Mahoney,
Yes.
Kunze,
Yes.
Britton,
Yes.
Saviano.
Yes.
And then finally, the village board will consider public comments received during the public hearing. Individuals may also submit written comments to the attention of Finance Director Brandis Martin. The village will consider taking action on the ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2024 annual budget and related items at the December 18th, 2023 board meeting.
Very exciting.
Cool.
Okay.
With that done, I guess we can move to the consent agenda.
Okay. I will move to approve the regular village board meeting minutes dated October 16th, 2023. I'll also move to approve the regular village board meeting minutes dated November 6th, 2023. I will move to accept the warrants list in the amount of $196,130.04. I will move to approve an ordinance amending Title 3, Chapter 32 of the East Dundee Village Code to create the new Depot Council, and I will move to approve a resolution approving the purchase of rock salt from Cargill, Inc. in the amount of $32,000 for snow and ice control.
Second.
I do have a question on this.
Do you want to discuss?
On the Depot Council thing, it seems like the delineated powers only pertain to the market but not to the depot itself. And I'm wondering if we want to also put that under their purview.
The depot complex as a whole?
I think that was the intent.
Yeah.
I read it as the depot complex as a whole. I didn't see it delineated as just the market, but
Okay.
we can take a closer look. Do you want to opine?
I thought the ordinance was loose enough to make that inclusion as part of one of the abilities of the council.
Okay.
If you want to change the ordinance or amend the duties in any way, you could pull it from consent and then we can vote on it as another agenda item separately with some sort of amendment, or we certainly can further revise it and bring it back to the next meeting. But if different action other than just approving it is going to be taken, we need to pull it from consent and then either amend it or
Yeah.
vote on it separately.
What do you think?
We can, I think we can, no, I think we can still further discuss this one item before we vote on it, correct?
Oh, sure. I just
Yeah.
meant if you want
Yeah.
to amend it, it just needs to be pulled off
Right.
consent.
So
Right.
the powers and duties are to continue the services to the public previously provided by the Dundee Township Visitor Center, which included
true.
running the market hours,
Okay.
to
Do
promote
we feel
tourism
like though
within the
that that's
village.
gonna be like 20 years from now? Nobody's
Is
gonna
that
know what the
understood?
nobody's gonna know what the township did.
Well, we had talked about, Trustee Mahoney and I had talked about having them conduct similar exercises that the Arts Council has been doing, which would be to craft their own sort of statement of
Vision.
responsibilities, vision,
Mhm.
mission,
Okay.
all that.
Yeah.
That's
So that would then
all right.
codify what they see as their role,
All right.
or
Okay.
what their role would be.
Designate and promote and advertise recreational or destination stops to the visitors of the Fox River Bike Trail, promote and advertise and oversee the operation of the depot market. Provide direction and recommendations to the village board of trustees regarding this village-sponsored special events and other depot-related business functions, so.
I thought that last part of that sentence would have been the catch-all that I included in that, the and other depot-related business and functions.
Okay.
You see it the same way, or you want to be comfortable?
Well,
with
I
it, or
think
you want to pull it?
I think that if they're gonna write their objectives and mission statement or whatever, then as long as we get to take a look at that, I guess, then
Yeah.
I would say that'd be enough.
Yeah. Agreed.
Anybody else?
Nope.
Yeah. This is so easy with the just the four of us. Okay, so, you ready to take a vote? then?
Yes, I am.
Rocco?
Okay. Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Coonsey?
Yes.
Trustee Britton?
Yes.
Trustee Saviano?
Yes.
Moving on to other agenda items.
I will move to approve an ordinance authorizing the execution of a real estate sale agreement and purchase of real property at 304 Hill Street and 309 Jackson Street in East Dundee, Illinois.
Second.
Discussion?
Um,
Want any background on this? Beyond the,
So this is back, and this is the new proposed.
correct.
this has been negotiated since it was last discussed.
Wouldn't say
Has it been negotiated? It's just
Negotiated.
Provided.
his best and final offer is what we asked for, right?
Yes, and this is what was provided, so. One
Looks
could,
like, oh,
go ahead.
I would say it looks like one of the changes is that it must be used for public parking, when last time I don't remember that being on there,
Right.
where it was stating that, so that's a big difference.
Yeah, and I've got a real problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you don't know what's going to happen in 100 years.
Well,
Right.
not only that, but
So one of my recommendations would be on this is, if you want to approve it, amend it to include only the things that you would agree to, and then we can provide it to the seller and say, this is what was approved. If you want to execute it, you can. If you don't, then, we'll have to go a different direction. So that would be one option. The other option would be just to not approve it, and we're back to, square one again, so.
I don't, what we asked for is his input, what's the thing that you're comfortable with? And I don't know if continuing the discussion better or worse at this point, right? Is us going back and saying, okay, thank you, here's what we propose,
The
better or
target
worse?
keeps moving on his part.
Well, I would say if you did approve something and we provided the purchase and sales agreement in the form that you approved, it would have an end date on it of, I think 7 to 10 days to approve, right? And so if it wasn't approved, then I guess we would have an answer that we were back to square one.
Okay.
Because there could be a possibility of getting something approved, although The only stipulation in this that I would recommend that we agree to is the 5 years. I think that's something we can do.
5 years of the parking fee charged shall be equal to the fee open.
No, 5 years of
Where's
No
that?
parking
paid
fees.
The first one.
Yeah, right above that one.
Oh, no parking fees will be charged for 5 years.
From the sale of the property.
The execution of the
Yeah.
contract,
Yeah.
right?
Execution of the contract.
But, and no parking fees shall be charged for 5 years would not preclude us of doing something different with those lots
Right.
if something were to happen unforeseen. I'd be okay with that. I don't,
I'm okay with no parking fees for 5 years. I think by the time you get
but all of
stuff
the other
together,
things
Yeah.
come off.
you know.
But all the other things,
All the
yeah.
other restrictions come off. All right.
Yeah.
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 The list got
I know
longer.
how you feel
Yeah, the list got longer.
about the bigger issue of this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's okay. 5 years. It's gonna be 4 years by the time we build it, and
That's why. it's
3.5 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand why he wants that on there. I understand he's saying he doesn't want his people to pay for it, but again, that only means that the residents of East Dundee have to pay for it. That's what it means. So I don't like it, but I guess for the sake of moving this forward, I would agree to that. If that's what we're all saying, I can amend my motion. So I will amend my motion, striking the, I will amend my motion, and I'll say I will approve the ordinance authorizing the execution of the sale, striking the property can be used for public parking, striking no special events or equipment storage allowed, striking after 5 years, the parking fee charged shall be equal to the fee for open street parking on River Street between Main Street and Barrington Avenue.
And I'll amend my second.
Should there be a second to that?
I think she.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Tricia, that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Tricia did.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Coonsey?
Yes.
Trustee Britton?
Yes.
Trustee Saviano?
Yes.
All right. And moving on to item B.
Okay. Did we say we were gonna table this till the next meeting?
Would you like to table it to the next meeting?
Well,
I
You
would.
can make a motion and then ask some questions so we can get some direction on what we
Okay.
want to bring back.
so I will move to approve an ordinance adopting the Village of East Dundee's current paid leave and benefits policy and opting out of the Illinois Paid Leave for All Workers Act for all Village and East Dundee employees.
Second.
Discussion?
So I think that, for me personally, I'm okay with doing this as long as, I guess, we make sure that our personnel manual matches what we want it to, which it sounds like it doesn't right now exactly. So I guess we just need to, when we approve this, also bring the personnel manual or put it in the packet so we can read that as well and see how it lines up and how it doesn't line up. And yeah, I think if the spirit of the state law is that part-time employees are included, I think we should do that as well. If we're gonna say that ours is as good as the state or better, because that's just what I'll say.
So for next meeting, we will attach the personnel manual and we'll make sure to highlight the section that says that the part-time employees accrue paid time off at the same rate as what the state's ordinance requires.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And then that way we'll have on record, where we started out with, in the public record.
Yeah.
Too.
Does anybody else have any comments?
No, I think that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I will move to table this until the
18th.
December 18th meeting.
Need a second?
Second. Sorry.
Okay. Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Coonsey?
Yes?
Trustee Britton?
Yes.
Trustee Saviano?
Yes.
Moving on to item C.
Okay, so I move to approve an ordinance granting a special use permit for a restaurant with live entertainment for the property located at 325 Meyer Avenue in East Dundee, Illinois, 60118. That's PIN 0323308002, located in the B1 Downtown Business District, known as CNF Investment Inc. Diamond Gyms.
Second.
Do we have any background or
So these are the,
recap?
I'll let Erica speak. Sorry.
So earlier this year, the village board discussed bringing existing businesses that host live entertainment into compliance with the current code. So there were no special use permits issued to most of the businesses that provide this. And so Franco has worked diligently with the local businesses to have them submit for permit applications. Those applications then went to Planning and Zoning Commission for formal hearings, and Planning and Zoning then recommended approval to the village board, and that is what we have in front of us this evening for consideration.
Mhm. Are these, I mean, these businesses that are on the agenda, are they the only ones that have applied, or are they just, we're just trying to do them?
We're doing them
A few at a time.
a few at a
In
time.
batches?
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
seems like it's pretty similar to just what they've been doing for their entertainment.
Yeah.
It's just now officially making it a
Right.
And
go
we're
along with
and
it.
we're batching it through instead of having a
Right.
bajillion people for the planning and zoning meetings at every
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
But it's not like we're prohibiting the other businesses from continuing on. It's just we're starting the process of bringing everybody up to.
Okay.
So there's more to come.
More to come.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I
And
guess,
nobody's officially out of compliance. We're just getting them going.
so I guess my feeling on all of these is that, I'm gonna say we should, or that I would, lean towards approving them. Just because we haven't had anything in this village up to this point regulating live entertainment. We've created this ordinance to essentially give us a tool to police it a little better, I would say.
Well, and we didn't create it. The ordinance was already on the books. The noise ordinance was already on.
The noise ordinance was on the book, but
Well,
the
no,
special use
the
permit
special
for live
use-
entertainment we
the-
created.
We adjusted what was already there. We I believe, right?
Yep.
It had already been on the books, we just hadn't enforced it.
Yeah.
We took a look at it and amended it to make sure it was brought up to our satisfaction, but the ordinance had been on the books.
Well, then what are they applying for?
The special use that they were supposed to have, but nobody enforced previously.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
It
Which
just
is why
appears
it's
the only
free.
thing that changes is they have to fill this out, but they're
Yeah.
gonna still have their music like they've been having.
Yeah.
And they're acknowledging what the hours
Yeah.
are and what the rules
Got
and
it.
responsibilities are, and it's just a little bit more formalized. I think
Yes.
some of the hours changed, and some of the requirements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the ordinance was there, we're just actually enforcing what's on our books.
I'm good to go.
Implementing what's
Is,
on our books.
Is there anybody here from Diamond Gym?
I don't see John.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Kunzi?
Yes.
Trustee Britton?
Yes.
And Trustee Saviano?
Yes.
Item D.
I will make a motion to approve an ordinance granting a special use permit for a restaurant with live entertainment for the property located at 311 Barrington Avenue, East Dundee, Illinois, 60118, PIN 0323304015, located in the B1 Downtown Business District, known as Dundee Cobbs Incorporated, DC Cobbs.
Have a second?
Oh, second. I'm reading.
Any other questions? Franco?
Trustee Mahoney?
Kathleen? Yes.
What is happening?
It's Monday.
All over time.
Trustee Coonsey,
Yes.
There's just water in here.
Trustee Britton,
Yes.
Trustee Saviano.
Yes.
All right. Item E.
I'll make a motion to approve an ordinance granting a special use permit for a tavern with live entertainment for the property located at 314 North River Street, East Dundee, Illinois, 60118, pen 0323310015, located in the B1 Downtown Business District, known as the Distance Social LLC.
Second. You know,
Monaco?
I actually do have a question on this, and I should have asked it on the first one, but there is a note in here that says no more than 3 complaints per year. And I just want to make sure that we're saying, it's not that you get 3 complaints and your license is gone. There has to be some review of those complaints, of, you know, the results of that review, right?
Yeah, they would go to administrative adjudication, and if they were sustained through that process, then that would count as one, and then similar.
Okay.
Are you thinking we got Hatfields and McCoys going on?
Well-
in our downtown business district?
No, I just don't like setting up tools that are
Yeah,
easy
right.
to manipulate.
People have bad days.
Yes.
Complain about it.
Exactly.
There's also a provision in the ordinance itself that they fail to comply with the conditions, they have to be given notice, and then a hearing is held before, like, a revocation of their special use would happen. So nothing happens without you guys being apprised and proper notice and all of that.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Everyone has
All right.
bad days.
Robert?
Trustee Mahoney,
Yes.
Trustee Coonsey,
Yes.
Trustee Britton,
Yes.
Trustee Saviano.
Yes.
Item F.
Is this the one that we had a public comment on?
Yes.
Okay. I will make a motion to approve an ordinance granting a special use permit for a restaurant with live entertainment for the property located at 501 to 503 Dundee Avenue, East Dundee, Illinois, 60118, pin 0323479007, located in the B3 Service Business District, known as Bravado Enterprises LLC, La Marisquera Kitchen and Bar. And I apologize for my pronunciation.
Second.
Okay, discussion.
So it sounds like there was some follow-up requested after the planning and zoning meeting, and that did not happen, or has not happened. Does anybody know? Do you remember what the?
At the public hearing, it was established that this was a civil matter between the 2 tenants in
Okay.
that building, and I advised them to contact their landlord and see what their landlord could do. And if their landlord wasn't able to hash out any disagreements with them, I'd be more than willing to sit down and try to mediate some sort of agreement between them. But I wasn't reached out to, so I figured it was all taken care of, as
Okay.
they have to go before the landlord first.
So it sounds like that didn't happen. So we should maybe follow up.
Did you meet with the landlords?
I'm sorry.
Sonia, if you don't mind speaking there.
Yeah, and just announce your name.
That's fine. I'm Sonia, and I'm with Bravado Enterprises. I did email them, and they really haven't gotten back because we have to schedule an actual meeting. And I emailed them, and I went back to the building twice to talk to somebody. I don't know if you actually reached out to them to try to get a meeting
No, I
with them.
reached out to you twice, called me in person, and no
I
one's
did not.
contacted me.
I didn't get it on my cell phone, but I mean, I know we were both going to reach out to management company. That's what we agreed on here. And I honestly they're not reaching out back because it's not the first time that we have to reach out to them for the same type of matter. It's numerous times between, like, I am sorry if I did not, I don't know if you call my cell phone, but I've been trying to not talk to you directly just because I don't want any more confusion and frustration, and that's why I wanted to contact them directly and have this meeting with them.
because like he said, it's no longer between her or myself or the two buildings. Is they basically promise both of us the same thing, and they're not reaching out, and it's a management thing.
Okay.
I do want to note that the reason why the PZHC felt it was best to recommend approval for this was because during the public hearing, it was discovered that the neighbor could also hear plates clinking through the walls. So this wasn't necessarily associated to live entertainment, but also plates clinking, which is beyond this. So that's why they thought that special use for live entertainment is appropriate for recommending approval to the board.
What does it mean if we say this is a civil matter? What makes it a civil matter rather than something that we should be concerned about, I guess is my question.
There wasn't anything illegal being done in essence, that it was between the two businesses and their own private unit that has to be. But because of that, on this ordinance, as an additional condition, staff proposes that number 4, applicant Sonia must make reasonable attempts to produce or create reasonable sound dampening at the property. And if nothing happens after a while, or the complaints through the police department escalate and it continues, then as previously stated before, the board has its recourse in taking away that special use permit.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so then, with that special condition that PNC put on you for the sound dampening, that's something that you agreed to?
Yes, we would agree, but like you said, we definitely need to speak with management and have this meeting down, just because it's also good for us to know where are we moving from there. And like what's frustrating to me is the fact that they're not acknowledging that, you know, it's like they come, they do their monthly checkups, you know, like we comply with rent and everything, but they're not giving me a date to have this meeting. And it's an issue.
Yeah. Funko, is there a possibility to take a follow-up on that and perhaps, instigate a meeting?
I could reach out and see if they'd be willing to.
Okay.
Can't force
Right,
them.
obviously, but, okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
I can email them back, and I can probably copy you on the email if that's
Okay.
okay with you. We're trying to make the efforts. It's just we don't want any more, back and forth, because we do need the permit to sustain our business.
Yeah. And if, as was brought up in planning and zoning, if you can hear plates clinking, then this is more of a,
Insulation, so.
yeah, this is an issue with the building. So I can't hear plates clinking upstairs in my house, so that's a problem. Okay,
Those are my comments.
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, concerns?
No.
Would this then be motion to table? No, okay.
No, I think we
I
do.
don't think it.
Yeah, we move forward with
Oh.
it because if there are further violations, then
Right.
this is.
I think the ordinance will already take
Okay.
care of it.
Yeah.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Coonsey?
Yes.
Trustee Britton?
Yes.
Trustee Saviano?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Board reports. Tricia.
So I did speak with Colin, who's opening the Mexican restaurant, which was formerly Anvil Club. And I know he's going to be bringing something forward next meeting for a facade grant, and hopefully maybe 2 facade grants if there was extra money and he can get that. So he was discussing that also. Issues with signage, I know it's historic district and we don't necessarily need something obnoxious out there, but that this process seems to be taking a while for him, although I know that that's only one side of it. I'm just throwing it out there, that if something that we can do to help move something along, I'd be happy to do that.
Sign hasn't been approved?
It's not approved, but he wanted something that was not historic district worthy. So I guess there's been a lot of back and forth. The last thing is he started the process for gaming with the state before we did the moratorium. And it was on the application that gaming was a part of it, but not the official application with the village. He did not fill that out yet. And so he's concerned about the moratorium because he did a build out and got it through the state. And then now with the moratorium, he'd have to wait a year to apply again, and it would take 6 months to get where he is with the state now. And so that was just one of the things he was concerned about. So he might be reaching out to others to discuss it, whether he could be grandfathered in because the process started before we did the moratorium, or who knows. But I'm just throwing that out there that it was brought to me, and he wants to talk to others. So that's all I'm saying. Scott?
So I went to the tree lighting ceremony.
I'm sorry I couldn't take it.
Oh, that's okay. And it went great, and it was, I mean, the whole event was awesome.
Beautiful.
Big kudos to Catherine and to Public Works for setting things up. And, you know, again, it's amazing that how many events we do in this town, and they all seem to do so well, and so it's great.
I have to say, I was expecting there to be roughly 4 people.
Yeah, I mean, the weather was awful all day, and it was still a packed house, so,
Yeah, and well done on the ceremony.
yeah. Thank you. That's all.
That's all? Okay, cool. And then the next night I went to the parade, which was really well attended. I think it was probably better attended than Friday night, but it's also along the river, so there was a lot more room. Carpentersville was well represented along the bridge. West Dundee was a little bit lighter, but I'm sure they probably came over to East Dundee or I know people were on the bridge, and really, really well organized event. And then I also noticed that Catherine and I believe Eastside Cafe had a little tent up in the Bartles Park, serving things. So I'd like, Carpentersville has done a really nice job with having that tent on the corner in Triangle Park. If there's an opportunity to build that out a little bit more with other vendors for next year as something we can put into our special events kind of wish list. I think that's kind of a cool opportunity. I also spoke with or texted back and forth with Rosa from the Elgin Mall, and it's really exciting to see the improvements on Dundee Avenue, or 25, whatever it's called, that are being done to the facade. They're really taking a lot and doing a lot of work on the build out as they promised, and they're going to be submitting the floor just on the infrastructure, and so they'll be submitting plans for their build out for their little booths or whatever by the end of this month. They're looking at a beginning of May move in potentially if all goes well. A lot of the heavy lifting has been done, and that's what's been taking a little bit longer. So that's exciting. She is also looking potentially for a facade grant as well. And I think that's it. That's it for now. Sarah?
Just thank you to Public Works. Downtown looks great.
Yeah.
It's very pretty down there. And question, I think you and I talked about this maybe the last time, but I also could have just imagined it. I was tired. Is there any sort of way that we could have like new business announcements in town? Like, not just for us, but also for the community to know, hey, you see a build out going in this building, this is what it's going to be. Like, it's not that not every building has to go through planning and zoning and come to us for approval if it's a valid use, if it's already permitted use of the space. It just gets built out. There's no need for special use. It doesn't come before us. But it's still nice to know kind of what's going in next door. And I realize I could still open us up to complaints if they don't like what's going in next door, but as you know.
It was in the budget, I think it was listed all the new business that opened up this year, and I was amazed.
Yes.
And so I think, to your point, that's really great and can go into the e-newsletter.
Yeah,
That
be great.
kind of thing. Also, one of the things that I found out from my little microgreens couple that opened a business and started at the Depot Market is when they become a Kane County Chamber of Commerce member, Northern Kane County Chamber of Commerce member. Part of that is that they can advertise their business in the email blast that Kane County puts out. So all they have to do is put a, hi, we're open, this is us. Beyond just what might be advertised for a grand opening to the other businesses. So it's cheap, free, and they're already paying for it if they become a member.
Great.
Did you have anything else, Sarah?
That was it.
All right. Village attorney.
No report.
Paco.
Wednesday, we'll have our first depot attendant start as a part-time village employee, and it'll be Mr. William Zelsdorf. So,
Yay.
Welcome, Bill.
Welcome to village employment.
It's nice to be welcome.
that's all.
All right. Chuck?
No report.
Chief?
No report.
Brannis?
No.
All right.
No report.
What?
Great job on Dickens, all staff. Did a
Yeah.
great job.
Really.
Much appreciated.
Great job on 2024, really good 2024 season.
Yep.
All around.
All around.
All around, so.
Do we have an executive session?
Really? Take a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Kunzi?
Yes.
Trustee Britton?
Yes.
Trustee Saviano?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Good job, team.
Yay. 50 minutes. New record.
Yeah, you can see from the tree.